So you know who Jason Arntz is? Jason Arntz.
Nope.
He's actually a photographer in Grand Rapids, portrait photographer. He's actually really fucking good. Probably one of the better ones around here.
Yeah. I know David Black from Indiana.
Oh, he did an ad for fucking vodka.
That's the name of the vodka, fucking vodka.
Yeah. It's FKNG vodka, fucking vodka.
Crazy.
But he took a dope ass ad shot for it, and the dude's beard is fucking on point, son. And I was like, I don't know if it's the photo, that bottle, or that dude's beard, but now I want to drink.
Nice. Boom, 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 boom. Well, what do you say? Do this?
Oh, see, you always doing that to me.
I know. I get you. That's my thing.
You're gonna regret it one day. I'm gonna say something I shouldn't say, and then
right,
it'll be.
You're gonna get us banned.
Right.
What up, Dwayne?
What up, Dwayne? David.
Oh man. All right, so this is what we're gonna do because I can't shut up half the time. Oh, come on. I can't hear myself talking over there on your side.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, dude. Let me shut this up. I'm trying to turn all my volumes off over here. All right, we're good.
What's with the dark setting, Bob? Okay, so here. The background is red. It's dark. I'm drinking Apothic Red wine. Maybe a little I don't know, a little vampire vibe going. I don't know, Bob. I just don't.
It's stock market red today.
Oh, boom! There we go. Hey, so maybe Bob, maybe this is
damn, my guy.
Right? What's up, West Coast? Throw up that west side sign. No, Bob. I think the dark setting is Scott Bourne always likes to tell people. What does he say? I have a voice for radio, but not for video. Maybe I'm just taking a cue from that, and I'm just trying to not have people have to look at me so much. I don't know. It's just dark. It is a little ghoulish for sure.
Right.
Let's do this. Welcome to episode number 154 of Mirrorless Minutes. I'm your host, Jamie Hairlight, and we've got Jerry James on the other side. If you're listening, it wasn't funny at all. If you're watching, maybe it's a little funny.
Your highlights are lit.
My hair lights are light.
Your highlights are lit.
Right. Yeah. So a couple of things to talk about on. Oh, hey, hold on. Who's this? It's Shelly D.
Shelly
and Rich. Holy smokes! It is packed house tonight. Oh my God, I'm feeling a little on point. Hey, what's up, Richard? All right, there we go. And John Thomas. I don't think I'm missing anybody yet.
My man, John.
So a couple of things to talk about tonight. The first one, I'm going to let Jerry kind of talk about it. We've both got experience with it, and it is something Jerry and I are going to use, and it's something we encourage you to use. But I'll let Jerry just jump in and start talking about what we've got in mind and what.
For sure. So me and Jamie have been talking about the weather here in Michigan. It has you down, and you're not really motivated to get out and shoot or find, how do you say that? Find ways to bring you new locations and things like that. Stuff out of the ordinary. So I mentioned to Jamie about using the app Randonautica. And for those who don't know what the app is, it's on Android, right? You got it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's an app for your cell phone, and basically what it does is it taps into your inner soul and generates some random GPS coordinates, and you drive to these locations. And so the premise is, there's tons of videos on YouTube. So I've watched a few of them, and there'll be one where a girl was like, she was thinking death, right? And then she hit the button and got the coordinates. And when she got to the location, there was a dude that got shot and killed where the app center. And then about the most famous one where the girls found the body in the suitcase.
Yeah.
So I told Jamie, let's start using this app and have it pick our locations for us to go take some photos.
Hold on, let me jump in and say something really quick. So Jerry said that the girl was thinking about death. That's kind of one of the weird things with this app is Jerry said it like taps into your inner soul or like it's like, you know, kind of what, like woo woo kind of stuff, but they want you to think of a thing, right? Like a mood or a thing, and then it's supposed to supposedly maybe guide you in that direction.
Is there supposed to be some type of coincidence when you arrive at the location?
Yep.
So, I mean, I done seen some weird. Now, it's also you too, and you don't know how much of it's legit either.
Right.
But yeah, I think we should give that a try, man. And I encourage anybody to, if you're stumped on stuff to shoot, find you some app. There's tons of stuff. There's the geocaching app.
No. Randonautica. That's the one we're sticking with.
Right.
And so Jerry gave you like.
But some people might not want to see death, though. That seems to be the theme behind Randonautica.
Yeah. So okay, those are probably like extreme things. And look, we're not going to tell you guys to download an app that's going to take you to see dead bodies. You know, obviously, and how could an app do that anyways? Those are weird, random coincidences. But
rando
coincidences. So like last summer, I went up north with Shelly and my son and his friend, and we were just looking to kill some time. So we busted out the Randonautica app, and it tells you, you know, think of put a lot of energy into a thing. Yeah, an emotion or an object, whatever. So we were all thinking random things. Of course, I'm thinking money. You know, I want to find a lottery ticket or something, you know, and I don't remember what Shelly was thinking, and I'm not sure what Carter was thinking, but I, of course, remember what Carter's friend was thinking. He was thinking about sports and thinking about golf in particular, which is weird. And we're in the middle of nowhere in northern Michigan, and we're following these GPS coordinates, and it tells us to make a left turn on this 2-track, you know, not even a dirt road. It's a 2-track for like off-road vehicles. And it goes off like probably onto somebody else's property, but I'm like, whatever, we're going to do this because we're having fun. And it took us through this field and up this hill and kind of got up onto this plateau and around a tree line. And there's just this big grassy open space. And we get out of the truck and we start walking with the app, and the app is kind of like, it's got this circle that just keeps getting smaller the closer you get, you know. And finally we were inside the circle. Ooh. And, you know, we're like
a dead body.
No. And we're like, okay, this is weird. And then all of a sudden, and mind you, you're not supposed to tell anybody what you're thinking of.
Right.
Leading up to this whole adventure. Okay. After you get going on it. And I'm kicking my way through the tall grass, and I look down and find a golf ball. And this is well before we knew that my son's friend was thinking about sports and golf in particular. And I thought, wow, that's weird. You know, so I picked up a golf ball and I said, hey, look, I found a golf ball. And within a couple of minutes, we'd found probably 20 golf balls. No golf course in the area, no driving range in the area, no reason for golf balls to be in at the back of a random field around behind a tree line in a grassy opening. It's just weird. Right. So it was exciting. And, you know, like I said, you know, Jerry said, hey, you know, what can we do to get out and find something to shoot? And he said, what about Randonautica? I'm like, well, yeah, that's a good one. And you never know where it's going to take you. It works anywhere. It works in the countryside, like where I was at. It works in the city. Right.
I've done it in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's taken me to a couple sketchy places, and I didn't have a strap on me, so I didn't jump the fence and go into this. It looked like a junkyard or something behind a building, but
yeah,
I was like, I'll pass on that one today.
So I think if we didn't scare everybody away with this idea, I think it would be fun to get the listeners and viewers to download the app. It's a free app, and just give it a shot and just go out and take a photo from where you were at.
Right.
How about that? You know, take a photo and share it.
And the disclaimer, we're not responsible if you end up in Ed Gein Jr.'s basement.
Jerry's definitely going to scare everybody out of this.
No, it's not that bad. A lot of that stuff's made up.
For sure. I mean, I don't know how true the the really famous one of the girls in California finding a
that's legit. That was on the news.
dismembered body stuffed in a
There was
suitcase.
2 bodies in there. They identified the people.
Oh, see,
a girl and a guy. Yeah,
I could have lived my whole life not
Right.
knowing that was true.
Right. Yeah, that was legit.
So Michael's asking what it's called. It's called Randonautica. Randonautica. So it's Randonautica. Randonautica.
Right.
And it's fun. It's just a fun way to just
To
get
go
out.
somewhere. Yeah. It sends you to a location.
Yep.
So my thoughts behind the thing was, wherever it send us, let's see what kind of photos we can create. You know what I mean? And that's kind of a challenge in itself, because you don't know where you're going. And
Oh yeah. It could just put you on an empty street somewhere, or it could put you behind a burned down gas station. Who knows?
Right.
But it would be kind of cool to set up a gallery on the Mirrorless Minutes page
For Randonautica images.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, what are you thinking? It's funny. So my mom says, sounds like something interesting to do. For
That's
sure.
Because she's been at that shooting range.
Yeah. For sure.
Debbie's ready.
Yep. So again, I think it would be kind of cool, and just kind of give us some feedback, like as you're doing it, just post over on the Mirrorless Minutes page or something like that, or message Jerry and I somewhere on social media and let us know if you're doing it. We're really excited. It's kind of a fun thing for everybody to go do and get out.
Right. Steve's got a question.
All right. So let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. How far does it send you? I think you can set.
Yeah, you can
like
set a parameter.
Like a radius that you want to go in. So it's not going to send you to my house.
Look at Mark.
That's how we're running the whole workshop. Yeah. So again, when we're in Wyoming, we don't have a plan. We're just opening this damn app every day and just letting it send us wherever. So Shelly says that her and her friend did it in Grand Rapids, and it took them to some very small neighborhood parks deep on the side streets.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just never know where it's going to take you. It's not always, horrible and scary and terrifying. So
the first time I opened it up, I was at the beach, and it took me out to 300 yards into Lake Michigan. So
are you serious?
Yeah, we're skipping that one. I'm not swimming today. So I picked a new spot.
Yeah, good idea. So let's see. Oh wait, no, that was Mark. Sorry. So he's gonna go with you.
Let's go.
I think death if you don't. All right. So yeah. So there you go, guys. It's a good way to get out. Again, sometimes it's hard to figure out where you're gonna go. Just let the app tell you where to go.
Right. For sure.
Be kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're gonna do it next weekend, right?
Yes, we are. It doesn't matter what the weather is. We're going to do it. We have to. We need to get out and
so we'll probably record like a little behind the scenes footage of it and throw a little video to get together and put it on the website for you guys.
Yep. No, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
A little nervous. Adam's just dropping it.
Bring that housing for that Glock you got, and we'll be all right.
Right. We're prepared for anything.
Right.
So I guess the next subject we can talk about is if you're friends with me on Facebook, you've probably seen this. And if not, you might have noticed it in like the little graphic that we made for this week's show. So earlier this week, I got my see you later email from Olympus. Been an ambassador with them for about 8 years now. And, they did this restructuring with this OM Digital Solutions company, part of the buyout from Japan Industrial Partners. And a lot of the restructuring that's happened, I've seen a lot of friends that I know that work at Olympus, kind of get, downsized out of a job or whatever. And as part of that, all of the programs I think that they're running have had some sort of restructuring or whatever. And I just didn't make the cut. But it was a cool 8 years for sure. And I know I had some crazy good times and a lot of cool adventures and experiences. And I'm sad to not be a part of, that anymore. But at the same time, I kind of feel like it probably yeah, I'll let Jerry say it for me. You spend 8 years, kind of shackled a little bit. Sorry about that. Kind of hit the keyboard there. I know shackled sounds like a harsh word, but you're kind of obligated and bound, when you're an ambassador for a company, and it's good. I mean, it's got so many benefits, and this had a ton of benefits for years, but, I think it was just time anyways. It's kind of feeling things changed a lot, in the last couple of years at the company. And, I think it was good. I'm happy that my parting with the company probably happened when it did. So, again, forever grateful to Olympus. I'll still shoot Olympus gear. I'm always going to be shooting Olympus gear until all of it fails, which it hasn't yet, unless I dunk it in a lake or a river, so, I'll be shooting that. But now I can shoot with whatever I want and not, be afraid of getting, reprimanded, for shooting something else or whatever. So I'm excited for what the future holds as far as that goes.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff out there, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. A lot of cool stuff. I mean, you saw the Sony A1 announcement and Fuji's new medium format. There's a lot of cool things that are out there. I mean, everything I just mentioned is really expensive, but
right. That camera Brian Manier toted around for a week out west.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
So again, yeah, thank you, David. That's kind of how I feel. There's some freedoms that come with it, and I'm excited for that. But I don't want it to ever sound like I'm not grateful for the ride that I had. It was a great ride.
I mean, anybody would have to be a dumbass to not be grateful for that experience. You know what I mean?
Totally. I mean, I traveled the country. I met hundreds of super cool people, made a ton of friends, that I probably wouldn't have made otherwise, without that experience. And they were great.
You'd never met me if you weren't doing that.
Very good chance. No, I might have bumped into you. Come on, it would have had to happen. I wouldn't have sold you on an Olympus camera had I not been a part of it.
You guys wouldn't have been 8 deep, all doing live composite.
Oh yeah, they're all buddies of mine. So I probably just wouldn't have pushed you into Olympus so hard.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, it was great, and they did a lot of cool things for my family too. Everybody knows I had a wild ride, for a number of years, with my wife and everything. So, yeah, it was good, but I'm excited as hell for what the future holds for sure.
Yep.
I can't wait to see what,
just need to keep in touch with Jen. Everything will be cool, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Plan on that. So, so Nam says, yeah, that's how I met you too.
How I met Nam. Yeah.
Let's see. Was only there for 8 months. Never. Oh well, it was an honor to be a part of the team for a short 8 months. I didn't know you weren't either, Ryan. So sorry to hear you go after such a short time. Actually, really bummed. I would have traded my last year for you to have a good year there,
right?
And if that makes sense. But again, like I said, a lot of things changed over the last couple of years. So, it was a good time to go, I think.
Right.
But yeah, so
it'll get whipped back into shape now that Jen's back.
Onwards and upwards. That's how I look at it. Onwards and upwards. Ooh, these glasses have too much glare. But what it allows me to do though too is I think it allows me to focus more on some other things I've really wanted to put a lot of effort into. The workshops being the big one, and this podcast being the other big one.
Right. The website. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but again, I just want to also say too though that if anybody's got any questions about like ambassadorships, like what they look like how I got in, I know I keep hitting my keyboard. I know I've kind of gone over the story a few times, but that's me just giving you like the cliff notes of how it worked out. But again, if anybody's curious about how that worked out for me and how I ended up, representing a few different companies over the years, just reach out to me sometime. It's a story I think I'm going to tell in writing at some point, like maybe an article somewhere.
Yeah, on our website.
Yeah, where I can go into a little more detail. I'm not going to give out any, juicy information that I'm not supposed to give out, but I do have some fun stories to tell and probably some good insights I think people might be interested in. All right, your turn, Jerry. I'm taking a drink. My mouth is dry, and drinking a red wine doesn't help.
All right, let's do. You ready for image share? Want to do image share? I got a couple. Haven't shot many since the weather's been crap. It's snow. I shoveled an avalanche out of my backyard the last few days, but we can definitely get in here and share a couple images that I took. Bam. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. So this was taken in Ludington, Michigan. Me, Walter Elliott, and Dave Behrens took a trip 2 weekends ago up to Ludington, and so when we left the house, there was snow. We get and then as we're driving, it's an hour drive north, and as we're driving, the temperature's warming up, and then the snow turns to rain, and then when we get there, all snow's gone. It's melted. So that was a bummer. But this was shot at Ludington State Park. This is a 15-second. No, this is a 2-second long exposure shot taken with the Sony A7R II and a 10-stop neutral density filter. Something I snagged real quick. There's some jetties out there, and like your shot. Well, yours was at Betsy, but you get the waves moving around and it creates the mist and then so I stood out there on the beach and took this. The next one, this was taken the following weekend. This is Lake Harbor Park in Muskegon. Along the channel, that's the channel that goes into Mona Lake out into Lake Michigan. So we're walking the trails out there, and we bend the corner, and then I see the lake out there with the channel running out into it. And I thought the shot looked pretty good. Got a little bit of orange in there from the beach grass up there where the sun was kind of hitting it, and then the blues in the lake, the aqua, with white snow in the foreground. This is also a Sony A7R II with a Tamron 28 to 75 millimeter f2.8. Jared, I was actually out there with Jared that day, so I just happened to snag a shot of him with his big mountain man jacket on, and I thought it came out pretty cool. It was something I just sent him to use as his profile picture or whatever. This was taken with my camera as well. This was Sony A7R II as well. And I don't know, for some reason, I always wanted to take a picture of this house. And
I like them tones.
Right, it's in Roosevelt Park. And I was riding by so me, I get out and I do a lot of my street stuff. I'll just drive around and park, get out and walk and take pictures of houses and buildings. And I pulled over. I was like, what? I'm getting a picture of this house today, man. I was like, the snow's all on the ground, and the there's some white on the house to blend in with the ground, but then the bricks just really pop. So I parked down the street and got out and walked around the neighborhood a little bit, but I made sure I got a picture of this house finally. So I kind of wish it was at night and there was some lights on inside, but take what you can get.
Right. You're going to go back and visit it at night?
I might. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
It all depends too on, like, when for stuff like this, when I shoot these houses at night, I'll look for like maybe a purple light inside or a pink light or one light in a perfect spot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then if there's too many lights on, I'm not taking them. If there's one light, maybe, yeah, because it looks a little more mysterious. But and that is it for mine.
Nice.
Just something that I've shot over the past week because the weather's been crappy and I ain't got out too much.
Yeah, I think what you showed, like the house photos especially, I mean, people keep in mind that might be the kind of thing that Randonautica takes you to. It might take you to a neighborhood with just some weird houses or whatever. Just keep an open mind to it and just think like Jerry does. Jerry finds these, quirky homes or a funky old car parked out in front of a house or something like that, and I think it's just all about seeing what those things are and shooting them. Super cool, dude.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for the invite up to Ludington.
I think you were out. You guys were out that weekend.
Probably were.
No. You were doing your walk downtown with Brian and.
Oh no, that would have been last weekend. 2 weekends ago, I think but 2 weekends ago is when this photo was shot. So you were up there and I was down.
Oh, that's what it was. It was the day you were going to Grand Haven.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't.
When I told you Grand Haven sucks.
Yeah, Grand Haven gets boring after a while, for sure. No, so this was I'm sharing this photo for a couple of reasons. Number one is because I was told that if I mention Shelly's name on the show, every time I mention Shelly's name, I get like 15 minutes of free back rub. So I think I've said Shelly's name like 15 times, right, Shelly? So anyways, this is a photo of Shelly on the pier, the North Pier in Grand Haven. This was the first sunlight I think I had seen in about 2 weeks, over 2 weeks in Michigan. So when the sun was out, Shelly and I went out and we just drove around all day and ran out. I know my mom's laughing, thinks it's funny. It is. It's not going to be funny for her when she has a cramp in her hand from 2 hours worth of back rubs. So we just drove around all day and ended up in Grand Haven at sunset. And I was just happy to see her get out and walking down the pier. It was like super icy and sketchy. It wasn't too bad when she was out there right then. But when she turned around to go back, the sun had gone down quite a bit more. It got quite a bit colder and it was almost like a sheet of ice. So word to the wise, she's wearing like a sneaker out there. You probably want to wear something with a little more traction. But this was just me seeing if I could do a bracketed shot of someone. So I just told her to start walking towards the end of the pier. And then when I say stop, just stop. So she stopped with her foot lifted, just mid getting ready to take a step. And I haven't really done that with a person, a bracketed shot. And I wanted to see if a person can hold still enough to get a bracketed shot, because I am facing like almost straight into the sun. It's just off camera to the left. And generally, people can't stand still long enough. And it worked out pretty good. So I can just kind of to zoom in a little bit and just see that it stayed sharp. But I noticed that Lightroom does a good job of kind of keeping, one of your single frames. And, if you use the deghosting during the overlay, it does a really good job of kind of mitigating any movement or whatever. So again, this was kind of a proof of concept shot for me. And then also just a way to kind of capture, the end of our day together. This next shot is showing you what not to do. So I had this great idea of a shot that I thought would look really cool. And what I realized was, I always tell people you need to have the willingness to make a sacrifice to make a photo. My original intention was when I saw these little icicles hanging down these are like ladders that go down off the side of the pier into the Grand River. And I saw these icicles formed on them. And I thought this would be kind of cool if I could get down there and do some focus stacking so I had more depth. And it's solid ice down there. And I would have had to almost kind of lie down to compose the shot. This again is with the Sony, and it doesn't have an articulating screen like the Olympus does. It does flip up, but I didn't want to be all the way down in there where the ice was at. And there's a little bit of water off to the side. If I would have had a flip out screen, it might've been a little bit easier. So I chickened out on doing focus stacking. But what I should have done in this instance, I think, is probably stop down. And I made the screwy mistake of shooting this at like f2.8. So the depth of field is stupid shallow. I've got like this really narrow focal point, which was kind of a waste of a shot. You can kind of see right here. I don't know if my cursor shows up on the screen share very well, but this is nice and crispy sharp. Tons of detail. And you get like 2 inches away and everything is completely blurred out and out of focus and just, again, kind of a blown shot, I think. So my lesson learned. Go ahead.
Did you focus and recompose?
No. So what I did when I got down there, I knew I wanted the ice in focus.
Right.
And because it was just, I wasn't in a good angle to look at my screen really well. I was using a flexible point on the Sony. And I think when I was setting the camera up and getting it down really low like that, no tripod. So this was just resting on the ice. I must have moved the joystick and moved it just off center. So that's why the focus is off to the right a little bit.
Right.
Again, it's one of those slow down and just kind of pay attention to the details and what you're doing.
Right.
And I think also if I would have stopped down, I probably could have gotten a really good, maybe starburst off of the sun in the background. But this is a bracketed shot on the Sony. And I know that the next time I go back and do this, if I get the opportunity for something like this again, I don't care. I'm going to lay down in the water. I've done it before. I should have just done it then, you know. And
so one of the things I do, I never leave my focus point in the middle of the screen. I usually leave it to the right.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if I'm shooting portrait orientation, it's towards the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm shooting landscape orientation, it's on the right side. But I will move it to the left side. So like for this shot here, I would have moved my focus point from the right to the left about where the ice is on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see the image before you take it.
Right.
But then that way, when I get down there, the focus point's in the right place. And then you don't have to focus and recompose.
Right. If you'd have done that, then with the settings I had, you'd have just had the two icicles on the left in focus.
Right. Yeah.
The two on the right.
Yeah, that feels a little shallow for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I mean, that was kind of my bad on shooting, wide open, which is, it's a rookie move, but everybody does those rookie moves.
Right.
But I know you probably leave your focus point to the right too when you flip it up to portrait orientation, because you shoot people a lot.
Yep.
And to the right, if you flip up in portrait, that's where the head would be, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Well, there's a tip for people who might not have thought about that anyways, like if you shoot people a lot, it's a good idea. Because
when you're shooting landscape orientation, then it's on one of the thirds. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I never shoot rule of thirds, so I'm always either moving it to the left or the right, or it's different for landscape than portraits.
Nice.
I never move it for portrait photography.
Next shot. So, okay, another lesson learned for this one. Actually, this was last weekend. I drug Shelly back. Yeah, I said your name again, Shelly, twice now. Back to the lake shore for sunset again, because it did look like we were going to have a decent sunset. It didn't really turn into what I would consider like a great sunset, but it wasn't horrible. But when I'm walking down, this is the same location, by the way. I'm just on the beach now versus out on the pier that you can see there. But I got down towards the beach and I noticed there's like 25 people down there all taking pictures with tripods. And I thought, holy cow, Jerry's not joking. Stay away from Grand Haven at sunset. But what I found out was it was actually a workshop from the east side of the state there. And so I went down onto the beach and just kind of tried to find my own place a little bit further down the beach. And I did a couple of shots down that way. Bumped into somebody that I know from Facebook that I didn't know I was talking to in real life. It was funny. So Jeffrey Hansen, if you see this episode or listen to it, it was cool to meet you. Next time, just poke me in the eye and say, hey, it's Jeffrey Hansen. And I'll just kind of maybe have like a legit conversation with you. But so I got done shooting where Jeffrey was at and then decided to walk back. And I don't ever put people in my landscape photos. I suck at that. I take everything out of my shots. And I thought, well, this will be easy enough to do. I could definitely Photoshop this lady out of the shot. And but I decided to keep her in there, and she was staying pretty still for a lot of the shooting. So I decided that maybe I would try and do a little bit of a focus stacking like I didn't do the other weekend. So I remembered that I screwed that up the week before with the ice, and I thought I'd try it here. So again, another lesson learned. Focus stacking on like the Sony versus an Olympus camera is a lot different. And here's why. So This was like only 3 shots, but it was 3 shots at f8, and you'll have to pardon my Shih Tzus in the background barking. So 3 shots at f8. On the Olympus, I think if I was at f8 and I did 3 shots, I could get everything from way out here at the fog house at the end of the pier all the way to the foreground. I'm pretty sure captured at f8. But what I found was I focused out here to get the fog house in. I took my next shot and focused it out here in the ice, which would be about, mid ground in this shot. And that's nice and clean and sharp. And then I focused back here on these logs, and you can see this is nice and crisp and sharp. But from the end of that log out here, it looks like it needed another shot. So that's kind of, and the only reason I'm pointing this out is because that's kind of the difference in depth of field you'll get, I think, from full frame sensor to micro 4/3 crop. The depth of field is so much greater on the micro 4/3 that I could have pulled off the shot and had everything from, that section of the log all the way out in focus. But on full frame, you have to think or be aware of the fact that your depth of field can be so much shallower. So I probably should have stopped down to like f16 or something, which is not something that I really ever did with my Olympus camera. Stopping down on those for me was like f11.
Either that or you just took a couple more shots.
Right, exactly.
Have you ever tried manually focus stacking?
Yeah, that's how these were done.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you don't. There's no other option in Sony. I mean, not like Olympus where it can do it automatically for you.
Typically, when they focus stack, they'll do 9, 12 shots, and
right. And honestly, for a landscape photo, most of the time, I think a lot of that's overkill. Like I've got quite a bit of Sony shots that were focus stacked from Wyoming, where I only did like 5 shots. And I have from like 7 or 8 feet out in front of me to infinity in focus, but I was stopped down too. I was like at f11 or f16. I know
never done focus stacking.
Yeah, the crazy focus stacking is the people that do macro, because your depth of field or your focal plane is like a razor blade. So they do like hundreds of stacks, and I think those people are a whole different breed. But anyway, so I took this shot, and I was on on my Facebook feed. There's a Michigan photography group, or My Michigan in Pictures, something like that. And I saw a photo that was taken that same evening of a wave breaking over the ice with the lighthouse in the background. And I knew from the angle that shot was taken that I think it was this person right here. And it happened to be somebody that I'm friends with on Facebook also. So on her post, I commented, I said, I think this might be you. And she commented, oh my God, it is me. Sorry.
I was the one you was talking about. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm like, sorry. She said, sorry, I was in your shot. And I'm like, no, I left you in the shot. I didn't Photoshop you out like I normally would. So that was kind of cool. It was a fun night just to get out and shoot, and this was, again, just another shot from that night as well. Basically kind of the same point of view as she would have had for her shot. Except I was a little bit further off to the left and I waited just a little bit longer. It was on my way out and decided to do another shot. And this, again, these are all with the Sony. That's just what I had with me. Wish I would have had the Olympus, to be honest with you, for the focus bracketing would have been nice. This is a bracketed shot too, handheld bracketed shot. This is with the Tamron 28 to 75, cranked out to 75 millimeters. And I really don't remember the aperture, but I'm gonna say I'm probably at like 5.6 on this. And yeah, it was a fun night, and again, I don't know if I could say Shelly's name another time, but it was fun to drag Shelly out in the cold to do these photos.
Right.
So again, lesson learned for me. And it's, just something I wanted to talk about too, is that it doesn't matter how long you've been shooting or how often you shoot or whatever. Everybody screws up.
Oh yeah. Look, I tried to start the podcast today with a 10-stop filter on my lens.
Jerry was trying to do a long exposure of the show.
I'm like, yo, why my camera won't turn on? What the hell's going on, man? Not again. And then I looked up and there's a filter on my lens.
Oh, all right. So I think that's probably all I've got to share tonight. What are you going to remind them to do, Jerry? What do they need to do?
Go do some Randonautica. Is that a word? Randonautica.
It is now.
That's right.
We own that word.
That's our word.
Definitely.
Yeah, get out. Find ways to get out and have some fun, man. Especially if you live here in Michigan and you're bummed out because you're tired of being in the house because it's so cold every day.
Mm-hmm.
Find something to make your blood boil a little.
Yeah, and so the randonauting, anyways, you're going to be in your car to do this. It's going to take you somewhere. You don't necessarily have to get out of your car to shoot there. I mean, you can definitely take photos right out of your car, stay comfortable, warm,
Right.
but do it and let us know that you're doing it.
Yeah, if you find any dead bodies, let us know. Take some pictures and post them in the group.
Maybe we'll run some kind of contest. I've got more crap to give away. I just need to get it all sorted out and start shipping it out. So the person who won the keyboard, Larry Chesno, he finally got the keyboard. The USPS took like 2 weeks to get it to him. He actually lives here in Michigan. Maybe an hour away from me. I could have driven it to him 50 times before the post office got it to him, but hopefully shipping times are better. And like I said, start sharing your randonauting photos and maybe Jerry and I can find something to throw in the mail and hand out to one of you guys randomly, randonautically.
Randony. Yeah. So I got a question.
Answer Rick's question first.
Is that available for iPhone? Yes, it is, Rick. And actually, my question has to do with your mom's question.
Can I use my new cell phone? Yeah.
So I'm curious on how many people in here listening actually go out and shoot with their cell phone. Because I'm pretty sure just about everybody in here owns a camera.
Mm-hmm.
But how many of you guys go out and actually shoot images with your cell phone? Like I legit have a monopod with feet on the bottom for my cell phone and it stays in my car.
It's
got a cell phone bracket on it. And we'll go out and shoot and I don't want to carry my cameras. I just stick my cell phone and it's got the cell phone mount on the monopod and I just carry a monopod around and do 1-2 second exposures with my phone.
Nice. Well, the iPhone does a really good job with that.
Oh yeah,
long exposures.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So my question is, how many people in here, or I'm more than a question, just curious on how many people actually get out and shoot their cell phones as if it's a camera. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And maybe that's the thing. Maybe we do an episode one time on cell phone photography.
I'll be a student on that. I honestly don't. I'll edit on my phone, but I don't think I've ever. That would be a fun challenge.
Right.
Send everybody out with their phone. It definitely throw me for a loop. You know how I like to pack a bunch of crap.
Right. I mean, I know it's not a mirrorless camera. It's not a DSLR, but hey, a camera's a camera, man. When you're a true photographer, I don't care what I take my pictures with. You know what I mean? Give me a kid camera, toy camera. I'll go out and I'll try to get some bangers with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These cell phones now take some really amazing pictures.
Yeah.
A lot less work.
Yep.
And I'd be down to maybe do an episode one time. We'll have everybody go out and take photos with their cell phones and then submit images and we can share them on here. And
I am all about that.
Yeah.
That would be fun. So let's do that. Do you want to, we'll do this next episode 2 weeks from now. We'll talk about and share randonauting images and then we'll put out the challenge. Go out and give us your best shot with your phone.
Right.
I like that. I'm excited.
I think it'd be cool. Do a couple times a year, each season.
Yeah. I'm terrified, but I'll do it.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna tell you what, there's many days I'm like, yo, let's just go shoot the cell phones today.
Yeah.
You're not toting any luggage around. The only thing you gotta worry about is make sure you're charging your phone while you're driving around because your battery goes quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. I just got a brand new phone, so I'm curious to see how well the camera works on it. So yeah.
Right.
Let's do this. Oh, my mom's got the hots for you, Jerry. Watch out.
I'm coming over for soup.
Coming over for soup. All right, you guys. We're gonna call it a night, and thanks for tuning in as always. Don't forget to download Randonautica. I'll put the link to the app on the YouTube description, as well as the audio version of the podcast. And I'll put it for both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store as well. And again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Peace.
Oh, I got to hit the button. I can't see the button to end the show because it's behind my camera.
You can find the button when you start the show, though.
Right. I have to lean over here and do this. All right. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.